I am Lo Xiaoyin with metric number 280623. I will present about the implementation of activity-based costing in telecommunication industry. After I read some article regarding to this, I found that the implementation of ABC in telecommunication firm is both and precise success, as the benefit derived from ABC system outweigh the cost of its implementation. Since there is no specific definition for successful implementation of ABC in the management accounting literature, therefore, the measurement of ABC success basically is based on the ABC user perception of success, and there are a variety of opinion from employees and managers regarding to the level of success of ABC implementation. There are 6 critical success factors of ABC implementation in the telecommunication companies. First is the top management support. The top management should provide support for the time of initiation and implementation of ABC. For example, by providing consultant at the designing stage or creating a special unit for ABC implementation, or devote sufficient resources for it. The next factor is the linkage of ABC to competitive strategy. The ABC information should utilize in the enhancement of operational excellence. For example, the proposed software that planned to be achieved has the features to link ABC results by the competitive strategy. The third critical success factor is the training. The ABC team of a telecommunication company shall receive sufficient training that provided by professionals. For example, the company can provide a workshop of cross-functional team for ABC, and another type of training can be provided by the ABC software suppliers, which is from the setup phase of the ABC system until the results are obtained. The next factor is about the linkage of ABC to the performance evaluation system. Thus, the result of ABC show the cost of activities and department management. Therefore, the cost management decided to reduce costs when they are over budget in a particular department. When the managers and employees in that particular department realize that their budget would be reduced, there is this to provide accurate activities information as the ABC input requirements. The resources adequacy is also one of the critical success factors. A large company that implements ABC system should provide sufficient resources to their ABC team, such as funds, time, and employees. The ABC team that without adequate resources is not capable to implement ABC system for the whole company. If the company fails to devote adequate resources to their ABC team, the team can partially implement the ABC system on selected activity based on request only, but not based on a continuous basis. The last critical factor that leads to successful implementation of ABC in telecommunication company is the consensus about and clarity of objective. The manager in all departments should be clear about the objective of ABC system that implemented by their company. As we know, the main objective of ABC is used to determine the cost of product and service. Therefore, the managers should at least know the main objective of ABC system, which is used to define the cost of product and service.
Hi, I am Janet. I am going to present the implementation of activity-based costing in the tertiary education sector. The first stage to implement the ABC system is to analyze departmental activities. Every activity in a service organization is classified into 4 areas. The first one is the unit activities. The second, batch activities. The third, product activities. And the last one is the facility and organizational activities. Here is an example of the analysis of division activities for the student service department of an institution. Based on the table, there are 5 subdivisions under the student service department. Each subdivision has specific activities. The activity classification also varies from one activity to another. For example, the activities for student affairs and housing divisions are unit activities. Meanwhile, the activity under International Student Division is a batch activity. The next stage is developing a cost assignment model for the institution using the ABC system. The department's organizational chart is a good starting point to convert to the ABC model. Here is the ABC model for the Student Service Department at Registrar's Office. To apply the ABC system, the most important task is to identify the drivers. There are 2 drivers, namely resource driver and cost driver. Resource drivers are the links between the resources and the activities. As shown in the figure, resource drivers allocate the total budget of the Registrar's Office to the Student Service Department. The resource driver is also used to disseminate the funding from the Student Service Department to all subdivisions. The table shows the resource driver for each cost pool. The resource driver disseminates each cost element to all the subdivisions for the Student Service Department. The allocation of cost to each subdivision depends on the activities performed. Activities that are not related to the subdivision are eliminated. For example, cost pools such as graduation, orientation, and visa or permit expenses are eliminated from the admission and enrollment division because this division does not incur those expenditures. The final stage is calculating the cost pool rate. A pool rate is calculated by allocating the total subdivision cost to the cost object using cost driver. The cost object represents a product and service that the organization generates revenue from, while the cost driver is the factor used to assign costs. As for the institution, the cost object is the students, while the cost driver is the number of students. The table shows the cost allocation to the Student Service Department. The related costs are then assigned to the Admission and Enrollment Division, while the unrelated costs are eliminated. The table shows the cost assignment to the Admission and Enrollment Division. The total cost assigned for this division is Rm93667. This amount will then be used to compute the cost pool rate. To find the cost pool rate, we take the activity center cost pool, which is Rm93667, and divide it by the cost driver, which is 1,640 students. Hence, the service cost of the Admission and Enrollment Division is 57 ringgit and 11 cents per student. That is all from me for the implementation of ABC in tertiary.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Shukri Ayman Bindaud. My metric number is 273,463. For my part, I will present about the implementation of activity-based costing in healthcare industry. This is the content of my presentation. First, I will talk about introduction to implementation of activity-based costing in healthcare industry. Second is the implementation of activity-based costing in healthcare industry, and the third is the conclusion. Before I start my presentation for introduction, I would like to share my reference for the whole presentation that are taken from Malaysian Journal of Public Health Medicine, which titled Estimated Estimation of Cost of Diagnostic Laboratory Services using Activity-Based Costing for Implementation of Malaysia Diagnosis-Related Group in a Teaching Hospital. Credited to Ibrahim Rosita, Amrizal Muhammad Noor, Sa Zafira, and Sheikh Muhammad Al-Junid. So first is the introduction. Activity-based costing is a costing technique that allows organizations to determine the actual costs associated with their services based on the resources they consume and quantitatively all the costs and performance of activities, resources, and cost items, especially in laboratory. For example, procedures, investigations, laboratory tests, drugs, and many more. An activity-based costing form was used to collect the cost of every diagnostic laboratory services carried out in each unit. There were 2.7 million investigations undertaken at all units in the Department of Diagnostic Laboratory Services in 2011, as stated in Malaysian Journal of Public Health Medicine. One of the difficult challenges in the health and medical field is determining the true cost of procedures that have been adequately present. The need to transition from the traditional costing approach to activity-based costing is necessitated by a lack of precise costing information in medical services. Next is the implementation. Cost was estimated using the calculation model as below. Total cost equal to cost of human resource plus cost of consumable plus cost of reagent plus cost of equipment plus cost of administrative plus cost of maintenance and plus cost of utility. There were two types of costs used in the study, which is the direct cost and overhead cost. For direct costs involve human resource, consumable reagent and equipment, while for the overhead costs involve administrative, maintenance, and utility. By using the activity-based costing method, it was found that the cost of human resource is one of the cost components that are largest from the total overall cost in Kashani Hospital based on the journal, and the finding also suggests that the cost of equipment and consumable material at the laboratory is a significant contributor to the capital cost. Next, the cost of chest X-ray via the ABC method in radiology department, and it is found that the total cost for an X-ray chest is 5 ringgit 65 cents, where the cost of the consumable is higher as 76.8% of the total cost belong to the X-ray film alone. The survey result also revealed the capacity of unused resources in various departments. Results from earlier studies have indicated that ABC method can reduce the wastage rate. The study of the cost of blood transfusion. Activity-based costing is not directly accurate and applicable for improving analysis and decision-making on revenue and costs. Lastly is the conclusion. The results show the activity-based costing method can be equally important in providing knowledge of the activity carried out and can provide accurate cost calculation and component costs. Implementation of ABC in healthcare institutions require not only changes by calculation, procedures may also change in the way of the organization functioning. This information can be used to guide healthcare and provider or specialists to make informed decisions regarding the use of appropriate investigation in order to reduce wastage of resource and enhance service efficiency in managing the patient.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nura Ashapti Khairi and my metric number is 281510. So now, I would like to continue our presentation about implementation of activity-based costing in hospitality industry. First and foremost, hospitality industry is one of broad category field within the service industry, especially in Malaysia. There are many examples of hospitality industry, such as hotels and tourism agencies. For this presentation, I would like to focus on Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia as our sample to give you a better understanding about the implementation of activity-based costing in the hospitality industry. First of all, we need to know what is activity-based costing. So basically, activity-based costing is a method of assigning overhead and indirect costs to related products and services. So, how activity-based costing works in hospitality industry? First, the activity-based costing enables hospitality industry to assign overhead activities costs of the firm to the specific products and services it produces and delivers. Compared to traditional way, the activity-based costing assigns the overheads and indirect costs less arbitrarily and focus on true relationship between costs, overhead activities, and services delivered. So now, I will give further explanation about the implementation of activity-based costing in the hospitality industry by using the sample of Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia. Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia markets two types of products, which are services standard product and services custom product. Standard product is a lot simpler than customer product, so Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia produce standard product in large batch sizes compared to custom product, which is produced in smaller batch sizes. So, there are 5 steps for implementing activity-based costing. The first one is define activities, activity cost pools, and activity measure. The second one is assign overhead costs to activity cost pools. Next, calculate activity rates. And then, assign overhead costs to cost objects. And the last one is prepare management reports. The first step is define activities, activities cost pools, and activity measure. Activity measure, also known as allocation base or cost driver. So these are the table of activities cost pools and activity measure for Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia. Next, assign overhead cost to activity cost pools. So this is how the hotel assign its overhead cost in USD to activity cost pools, which are setup, special part handling, customer invoicing, material handling, and other overheads. The third step is calculate activity rate. To calculate activity rate, we need to divide the overhead cost for the activity with the total of activity driver or total driver volume, and then assign overhead cost to cost object. So, this table shows how Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia assign its overhead cost to cost objects. And after summing up the direct costs, which are direct material and direct labor, and the overhead costs, we can get the total cost for both standard and custom products. And to get cost per unit, we need to divide the total cost with units of produce or sale. The last step is prepare management reports. After we subtracting the total sales with the total cost, then we can get the product margin. So these are 5 steps to implement the activity-based costing in the hospitality industry. Okay, how activity-based costing can improve costing process in the hospitality industry? Activity-based costing can improve the costing process in the hospitality industry in 3 prominent ways. The first one is increase the number of cost pools. Activity-based costing help in identifying the activities that are being performed by the organization's resources. Often, too narrow allocation can result in unclear understanding of both activities and how resources spent on them. The second one is assigning costs to various activities that are segmented based on the role they perform in overall processes. Instead of treating all indirect costs as one organization-wide pool, activity-based costing pools the cost based on each activity. Last but not least, assigning costs to respective product, Service and customer activities in the organization using activities cost drivers is also can improve the cost process, the process of cost in the hospitality industry.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Farah Akila binti Arli. My metric number is 281547 and I am going to explain about the implementation of activity-based costing in insurance company.
Activity-based costing is also applied in financial service sector, especially in insurance companies. The main purpose of activity-based costing application in insurance companies are to enable the appropriate information regarding costs in order to make a cost reduction and to improve profitability evaluation. In insurance companies, activity-based costing is used to identify value-added and non-value-added activities and also to provide more accurate evaluation of product, for instance, insurance contracts and customers' profitability evaluation. Next, how activity-based costing can help the insurance companies. Insurance companies are also trying to maintain or to increase profitability, and one of the most important ways to do that is to give a special attention on cost rationalization and cost reduction in every area of business. Activity-based costing is a tool that can help managers in insurance companies to correctly identify and analyze customers and products' profitability. Management of insurance companies is trying to increase profitability in two ways. First, by focusing on products, for instance insurance contracts, and customers that are the most profitable based on activity-based costing, and second, by outsourcing or modifying non-value-added activities. The second is on how activity-based costing can help the insurance companies is to obtain accurate and appropriate information regarding the activity costs. In order to apply activity-based costing in insurance company, three main factors must be defined: activities within a company, cost drivers for every identified activity, and cost objects. From these three, the main assumption of activity-based costing is cost object, where cost objects will consume activities and activities will consume resources. Resource costs are assigned to activities based on their use of those resources, and activity costs are reassigned to cost objects based on the cost object's proportional use of those activities. Cost objects are usually insurance products like insurance contract or policy, customer or channel. Activity-based costing enables insurance companies to understand how their infrastructure resources are consumed by activities and how products, customers, and channels consume those activities. Every cost that occurs in an insurance company must be assigned to appropriate activity that have caused its occurrences. Then, costs must be reassigned from activities to cost objects based on identified cost drivers. Since insurance companies are service companies, the most applicable cost driver is labor hours or time to perform certain activity. Moving on to next is the process of activity-based costing implementation in insurance companies. The implementation of activity-based costing in service companies and insurance companies as well is usually carried out through the following phases. First, form a cross-functional team. Second, identify cost objects, items for which there was a need for cost information. Third, identify activities. Fourth, identify drivers, the agents that cause costs to be incurred in the activities. Fifth, attribute activity costs to cost objects. And sixth, use the information. In insurance company, activities can be divided on prior activities, which means those activities that precede the making of product, and second is consequential activities, which means activities that follow after the product is made. Prior activities include market research, product creation, for instance, insurance contract or policy, which include coverage, premium, conditions, provisions, education of sales channels, and more. On the other hand, Consequential activities can be divided on primary and secondary activities. Primary activities refer to cost of making insurance policy and distribution or agent provisions. Secondary activities are claim inception, claim estimation, processing claims, claim settlement, and legal actions. These are the potential cost drivers for activities in insurance company based on Table 1. Every cost driver are assigned appropriately based on the activities. Therefore, in insurance companies, activity-based costing can provide management with information regarding the profitability of insurance contracts or policies, customers, segments, and sales channels. That is all from us. Thank you.